So I am on my way to work, and I just wanted to talk to you guys this morning about feeling displaced. I used to know this lady, and she talks about how she knew someone who, as a child, they were called DP, and they were called DP for a displaced person. And as they grew up, they didn't really understand. When they were younger, they didn't know what it meant. But as they grew up, when they really thought about it, and they were always called this, not by anybody in their family, but just someone close to the family. And that really struck something in me. And not only that, thinking of it, but how many times in life do we feel displaced? How many times do you feel like you don't know your place in this world? You're still figuring out who you are. You're trying to figure out why you are the way that you are. I know me, like, I'm 26 years old, and there are times where I still very much so feel displaced, where like it feels like I'm an alien in the world that we live in. I mean, that's as far as the way that I think, the way that I behave, sometimes. And sometimes I feel like, people really legit look at me like I'm an alien. And not that it's about other people's opinions or their perception of me, but I just realize how different I am from other people. And then there are those people where you kind of have a nice amount in common with them, but then you realize, we don't got enough in common, because you start to feel like an alien all over again. So I am naming this channel League of Aliens, because this is just gonna be me talking about different topics that come up for people who feel displaced, who feel like they haven't found their niche, they haven't found their group of people, so, or not even just group of people, but there's their place in this world that we live. And I know that I could be in a room full of people and still feel alone, in the aspect as far as, like, I feel like those people may not understand me, or like the wavelength that they're on is so totally different than mine. But at this point, I feel like, I've had friends from all kind of, well, not all walks of life, but I've had a lot of different friends with a lot of different personalities and backgrounds, and I feel as though I still haven't gotten to a point to where I feel like the new normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always felt like really weird in school and class. I always felt really, I don't know. And not that, well, yeah, I was not like a popular person. I wasn't like a nerdy, geeky kid either. But I got along with those kids. Like, the kids that they perceived as nerdy or geeky, I thought they were like the trillest kids ever. Like, when they start talking about what they like, they're so interested and they know so much about it. Whether it be when I was a kid, like Legos, or extreme gamers, kids that like to build things, they just have a certain type of skill, and, normally people, maybe they wouldn't, think that stuff is cool, but it's the shit to me, but it's also not exactly who I am. I feel like I'm a little bit of a lot of people. And so I can kind of meet you where you are in some aspect for some people, but then never like to just mesh with somebody like, yo, you fucking get my life, okay? Even with dating, like, I've been in a long-term relationship for years now. Like, early, from the time I was like grown. I mean, just a long time. So, but I do feel like that person gets me. I feel like when I'm weird and shit, like even if they don't 100% like agree, like they get it, they're just like, that's just you, so you're weird as shit, and I think it's funny as shit, you're cute as shit, like it is what it is. And there's nothing better than finding that person that's able to meet you where you are, as far as like just understanding you. But I think so many times in life, you know, we are so judgmental of people, who they are, the way that they look, and the things that they do, the way that they think, because it's not the way that we think or we decide to do things. Also, you know, there's a lot of insecurities, or not even insecurities, but just, yeah, it would be insecurities, as far as like, okay, you are this way because you're trying to combat, or you're trying to keep from being a different person. I know, like, for a long time, I was super, well, not super confident, but I never really like looked at myself where I thought anything was completely wrong with me. You know, I knew people didn't like me. I know that they thought maybe I looked weird, or, you know, I behaved weird, but I was just myself, you know. And I kind of miss that, because I think as you get older, you're kind of like, damn, you know, like, I wish I could go back to being no, I don't, because my childhood was shitty, but if you could go back and like just mentor yourself and be like, yo, you are about to be the illest person out here. Like, you are about to be you being you and not assimilating. You are about to be the illest person. And it's like, because none of the rest of the shit matters. Like, nobody's opinion of you matters. What's real is where you think people care, or, you know, and some people, don't get me wrong, some people are so judgmental, some people are so about other people's lives to where they can't not have an opinion of anything that you do. But then those people don't matter, because what's real is their judgment of you comes out of insecurities about themselves and judgment for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because what's real is that I don't think about too many people. Like, though I have things that I want to work on, I'm so into building myself and building my family and developing and learning and still, you know, becoming the woman that I want to be, that I don't have time to ponder about nobody else's situation. I don't have time to be judgmental about anybody else. So just know that if you find yourself around that environment, and I know some cases it's difficult, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're in a work environment that's like that, that, you know, people just always kill your vibe. Because I've worked in environments like that where people are so negative and all they do is just talk about other people. I'm sorry, you guys, I didn't have my seatbelt on, and I don't know how many times it goes off, because at this point I'm kind of immune to it. But I just put it on so you shouldn't hear it anymore. But, you know, like, if you feel like you are in an environment like that, just practice on keeping your peace, you know? Keeping your peace and developing yourself more. Like, my coworkers make fun of me because they could be talking to me and I will not hear shit that they are saying. Like, not one freaking word. And I don't hear it because I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are in an environment where it's negative, you know what I'm saying? You have to zone all the way the fuck out. And I don't know if it's just me or the fact that, like, I've always been able to do it. Like, if I'm, like, in a car with somebody and they saying some dumb shit, I will legit zone out and be in space. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the joke, that Mataia zones out. Because I don't want to take that into my spirit. I don't want to take that into my heart, you know? And then, like, I'm a thinker and an overthinker at that, you know, or extreme thinker, because I don't like the thought of overthinking. But I'm an extreme thinker, so I think about different situations, different details. I think like a lot deeper into situations than the surface layer, which is not necessarily a negative thing. Do I think that you should let the deeper thoughts control your life? No, because I think at the same time it can it can ruin situations for you. It can ruin your happiness. It can put you in a place. It will magnify insecurities that you have or negative thoughts that you have. So, I don't think you should do that. But at the same time, like, you just have to protect that. Going back to where I can zone out because I don't want to hear it. Because if I hear you say some shady stuff, you know what I'm saying? I am like, just like, why? I start to think like, why do you need to be so negative? You know what I'm saying? Like, or, it's always like, I am a light for sure. Like, I will be the happiest, brightest, smiling, perkiest person in the room. And I'm like so hyped, like, oh my gosh, today is a wonderful day. I'm gonna make the best of this day, and that is gonna be what it is. But then when you get around like so many negative people and dark lights, you have to be careful not to become that. And not that I feel like in that particular environment where I was becoming that. No, but it was starting to take a toll on me where I didn't want to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to get involved. You know what I'm saying? I stopped going out to lunch with them because I was like, yo, I got to protect my peace. And I don't care about what anybody has to say, but I am doing me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I feel like it's just constant negativity, I found myself not being negative, but being unhappy, and I'm always like the happy, fun, most energetic person. Like, that's just me and who I am. So when I am in a situation where it's always negative, like, it just makes me be quiet. I'm not able to shed my light because for me, I'm mad optimistic. So if you say something negative to me, I will spin that, and I will not spin it to the point to where like, oh, it's for me, but I will spin that when it comes to you, like, yo, you said, like a prime example, if you tell me you have a weight loss goal and you've been eating good all week and you had one day and you went out and maybe you made a sandwich, lettuce, tomato, all these, banana, peppers, all of this, and then you had some beef on it too. What if you went home and made a burger? But it's homemade. It's not as bad as like restaurant food where it's so many preservatives, depending on how clean you eat and how, if you buy organic and all of that. I'm thinking like, wow, okay, so yeah, you went home and you ate that, but you've been eating great all week. So really, if you want to get technical, you ate a salad with a side of bread and with some meat on it, because what do you have on a sandwich, right? You have lettuce, tomato, and that person was just telling me everything that they had on their sandwich, and I'm like, yo, that's pretty straight, and then you had a beef patty on there, and of course you had bread, but it was thin bread. So I mean, how many times do we go to restaurants and we order Caesar salad, or we order, a salad and it comes with garlic bread on the side and it has chopped up chicken in it? Yeah, that's a lot better than a burger, but what's real is that it's still meat on that sandwich. And if you grill that beef, it's the same as grilled chicken. I mean, not exactly the same, but you guys get my drift. And of course you have, buns on them as well, but you have garlic bread on the side of a salad. Yeah, you have a mayonnaise maybe, or what is it, ketchup, but you also have salad dressing on your salad. So me, I'm flipping it. I'm like, look, listen, think about it this way, and it made everybody laugh because I'm just so optimistic, and I like that about myself. But then they were like, okay, you can spin anything into it being better. But then at the same time, even if you don't agree with the statement that I made, you are not going to totally fall off the bandwagon because now you had one bad day. Maybe that was your cheat meal out that day. You ate good all day. all week, and then you happen to have a cheat meal, which they say that you can do as long as it doesn't roll over. You keep doing your thing, you keep moving forward. And even if it does move forward, you have to pick the ball up at some point and continue on the goal that you want to have. So, that is kind of how I am. So kind of going back to the part of when you're in like environments that are negative, you just have to protect your peace, whether that's zoning out, whether it be like I read at my desk, I'm on my phone, I'm practicing coding. For those that you don't know, I am a full stack developer. I'm full stack developer, software engineer, whichever you like to say. I love coding. So it distracts me. It's something that definitely will take your focus. I'm on code wars all the time. So, and I'm always practicing. So, just because that's what I love to do, and I have a goal on what I want to do as far as like my profession and what I want to accomplish. So, if you guys want to hear a little bit about that, I can do a video on what, if you're interested in like, different tracks and avenues that you can do to do that. But I just want you guys to be able to protect your peace. Like, even, and I don't know, and I don't want to lose some of you guys, but if I do, this is just something that I have done. So I realized that when I fed my spirit, and those of you who are like faith-based people, you will understand what I say. When I feed my spirit and I'm reading, I started reading every morning. I used to read all the time, and that is how I got so positive, so optimistic, so focused on, his plan for my life. So I was just like, you know what? I am going to, read the message, read the promises that he has, read the love, and even like I feel like when you read a passage, you ever realize that when you can read a passage, and depending on where you are in life, it can mean so many different things to you. Because I've read passages that I read 2 years ago that I thought meant something else, and it was like the word that I needed to move forward and be encouraged and handle goals that I needed to take care of. So it meant that at that time. But now when I read it 2 years later, I'm like, oh my goodness, how did I get that out of this message? And that is simple ways in how God talks to you, And I firmly believe in like a personal relationship with God, because nobody knows you better than him, because he knew you before you knew yourself. You know what I'm saying? He knew you and he created you. So getting on the right track as far as like your life, goals that you have to have something to put you at peace. And I'm also like, I believe, I'm not like a herbalist, but I'm like a naturalist. Like I believe that all of the elements that we have around us, we should be thankful for. Whether it's just the weather, water, like plants, earth, like living things, just taking in those things, because they're so beautiful. And they're so beautiful. And I think that when you're in a rush, you start to not be able to value the things that's around you. It's like that when you get a new job and compared to your old job, this job is the stuff. You know what I mean? You are literally just the SHIT, because you just got this new job and it's amazing. And then you get in the job for some time, and then you start to realize, you get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the prime rib, but it still supplies all of your needs. And if it doesn't, then that means that you need to grow, even if that's getting a better job or starting a business or, creating more income avenues for you. It's still it's still something to value, because some people don't have that. So that is something that I want you guys to kind of take in, and remember to, survey your life and think about what it is that you can be thankful for each and every day, because it's important. So yeah, that's just honestly where I am And I am still calling this the League of Aliens, because I want you guys, if you want me to talk about something, or even if you want to come on and you want to kind of have a conversation about it, I'd be happy to do that. We can do phone calls and you guys can, talk to me, and I can, talk to you about my experience. And maybe you guys can be a word of reason for me as well. So I just want this to be a sisterhood, brotherhood, of, people who feel displaced. But, we're going to always keep it positive. We are going to be uplifting to each other, So just continue to keep pressing and moving forward. We can talk about your goals, and, how to attain your goals and stay positive while you're trying to do that, and see other ways and how you can be more productive in reaching your goals. I'm actually really good at that. So, yeah, so I just want this to be something where we're able to support each other. But if you feel like a displaced person, or you feel like an alien in the world that you live in, remember that we need aliens. Because, and I don't know if you guys are fans of like comic books, even gamers. Everything had to come from something. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when back in the day before cars were made, there had to be that one alien person that was like, you know what? I do not want to ride horses everywhere I go. Okay, this horse and carriage stuff is not everything. And then there were people that had to say, how can we get from point A to point B a whole lot quicker and a whole lot more efficient, right? So then you have the car created. And there has been so many changes to the car over the years. Now we have eco cars, like, okay, we're going to get from point A to point B, but we're also going to do it more efficiently, because we don't want to waste all this gas. Those are the aliens of this world. You know what I'm saying? When you think about Stan Lee, and he is the creator of like a lot of different characters, right? And when you think about everything that he did in his life, I bet in the beginning as a kid he felt like an alien, because nobody probably was even thinking about any of that. The creators of these superheroes, these horror movies, they are aliens, because nobody would have been thinking about that. But then when you think about the impact that it has on the world and the mark that they're able to leave in the world, because they follow through with their alienness, I know that's not a word, but they follow through with the gift that they have and truly walking in who they are. That is what allows them to be successful. And I don't mean successful in just like, oh, you sold out things, but like to live successful, to live proud of who they are, and stand and walk in who they are as well. So that is really important to me. So I hope that, this channel encourages you to walk and live in who you are, regardless of if you've been living a lie your entire life in front and like, because there are a lot of people that are aliens as well, but they front and they change their whole persona and life and the things that they like into things that are popular, and they seem like, oh, whoa, they have all the friends, they have everything that they could want, but in the inside they are literally like dying because they feel displaced, because now, but they don't look displaced, because they're showing that, oh, I'm into this, and they have these people around them that are truly into that, but they still feel alone, and they feel alone because that's not truly who they are. And I've been that way. And this is a confession from myself. Like, there's times that we tell each other, I'll tell ourselves lies, and I have for sure lied to myself, and like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and I'm on so many different wavelengths because I'm just trying to find my way, and I'm like lying to myself, I think I like this, or this will be better, maybe I can better suit people, even in like what I wanted to do with my life. I felt like I had to do something that was expected of me, you know what I'm saying? Or not even just expected, but that sounded great for other people. I chose the path of software engineering because that's what I wanted to do. But as a kid, like, I mean, I've changed my major so many times. Like, at first, when I was in high school, I was like, I want to be a pediatrician. But I wanted to be a pediatrician because we had somebody in the family who was a pediatrician. They did well for themselves, and they, they were just really like on top of the game. Like everybody loved them, and all I knew is I wanted people to feel that way about me. So I felt like if I was successful and I did that they would. But then I realized like that's not really what I wanted to do. Then I changed and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a dental hygienist, so that's interesting. It doesn't take as much time in school, and I love to learn, but the school setting is not my judge. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not, but I learn by doing. So it really just depends on the major, So if you feel like you're in a major right now, or you're learning something that is not working for you, or feel like school is not for you, it's not necessarily that it's school, it's what you're learning that can't keep your attention. Because as soon as I started doing software engineering and I started coding and all of that, that is what kept my interest, and I can do that all day, any day. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about that. So excuse me, sorry about that. But yeah, so just don't feel like a displaced person. Find your avenue, and if you don't know, just keep moving. Because honestly, at this point, I just told you guys, I still don't know. Only thing that I know is that I love engineering. I love being a full stack developer. I love my family. I love being positive. I love nature. I love genuine good things. I love to help people. And I decided in this video, like, I'm no longer gonna lie about who I am, and not even just to other people, as far as like to make them feel comfortable, but to myself. Like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, that's great, I love this place. No, I don't love this place. I don't like this place. And if you want to come back here, you come by yourself. So that is just that. So I just want you guys to know that everybody kind of deals with their own thing, and trying to find their way. Even the most confident of people, you will realize, like, either they are overcompensating for the insecurities that they do have, trying to seem something that they're not, or it's just your perception, because perception is everything. So guys, I know this audio is about to be about 30 minutes long. Love you to life. All right, my League of Aliens. I'm Mataia, and I'm out of here.